Like, look, I find academic writing is valuable when you really have something that you want to write, but like having to write for the sake of writing, like reviewing people's theses for their dissertations and all that kind of shit. If they're doing stuff that they don't care, the work is like almost impossible to read because it's uninspired and pointless. But like if you want to really actually write something academically, then yeah, go ahead, of course. But like the amount of cases where that actually is real is so few and far between. It's ridiculous. Audio engineering, and I knew more than what was being taught. Yeah, exactly. That was me when I went for music. It's just like I couldn't wait until semester 3 to figure out what the fuck this is. I'm just gonna look it up and just learn it, and then when it's time for class, you just already know it, so you're kind of wasting your time. But you gotta turn up because you don't want to have bad attendance, right? So well, you're kind of fucked. The internet made knowledge so easy to acquire. It's kind of crazy. Yeah. It's like, as I said, I always believe YouTube is the best teacher. YouTube taught me everything. Almost everything I know comes from YouTube. Not even a joke, man. Fucking almost everything. What did I do at uni? I studied music, contemporary performance as a guitarist. Mad, like hindsight is 2020. I'll tell you that much. Like knowing what I know now, would have never done it, but doing it taught me that I should have never done it. Like I came out with a lot of information that I was not expecting on getting. It's a bit of a black pill, but I don't like to see it. I don't like to see it as a negative because there's no point. There's no value to that. Like I'm just gonna say that I learned a lot of life lessons, a lot of fucking life lessons. I'll tell you that much. But for anybody that's 18 and is ready to go to uni, and they want to do music, I'll just say, don't save $100,000 and get a really good teacher that charges $50 an hour, and spend $10,000 on them, and you'll become like the best thing since sliced bread, and you'll save all the rest of the money and focus on actually doing something instead of theorizing and hanging out in a room full of people that don't know why they're even there because they didn't know what they want to do after high school, so they just pick something that they enjoyed instead of actually having a purpose and an end goal. And then you're stuck with that mediocrity the whole time, and you want to blow your brains out on Minecraft. And yeah, it's just like fuck. Don't get me started. That's a podcast. That's a stream for a whole other time. If you want me to get into the weeds of that, music uni is about networking. Yeah, show me that room. Oh, fuck, man. Networking with those fucking people. Swear to God, I'd rather bite a fucking Glock. I just play and record my own. Yeah, fuck yeah, man. You learn so much more from like. You can sit in the classroom and talk about the theory of running, or you can just go out there and just fucking start running. And in 3 years, you can say you've run like 5,000 kilometers, or you can like go and fill in your application and say, I have the knowledge required to run. And the other guy just turns up, oh yeah, I've already done 5,000 kilometers. And who's going to get the job? The guy who's actually done the mileage, not the guy who knows how to do the mileage but has no proven concept. Yeah, eating shit in real time, fucking is a life lesson, man. Like, do you think I like everything that I've done? I set up OHN, or did I go into a university for like live streaming production, video production, all this kind of shit? I've worked in the opera house. I've done productions at the opera house. I've fucking done corporate event stuff. I've fucking run an FGC, a world-class FGC tournament, all through my own fucking trial and error and learning through YouTube and reading my own books and tinkering and experimenting of a decade. A decade's worth of failures have led me to being on like fucking Tekken's main page. I'm like, just for everyone watching, like, you can be eating shit for a long time, but if you're working on something, eventually it's gonna work out into something else. Like, 10 years ago, I would have never believed that I'll be involved with Tekken, which is like one of my favorite fighting game as a 6-year-old kid. Like, how in the fuck would you ever translate to my 6-year-old self? I was like, hey Pedro, this game Tekken 3 that you really like? Oh, you're gonna be commentating the fucking tournament to the world as later. Just wait 20-something years. Just eat shit for 20-something years, and then you're just gonna do that. It's like, no way I would have believed that shit. But keep at it, man. Just keep at it. Like there's really good, like, for example, when it comes to computer programming, why go and get a computer degree? Like, let's say for web development, front-end web development with a little bit of back-end. I just got a couple Udemy courses for $10 a pop, and I built all my stream overlays, all my tournament overlays for OHN and OHN was given to me, but I had my own. Okay, Battle Cat Birthday. That one I made myself. All the animated graphics with the things coming out and all that kind of stuff. That's all like, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, blah blah blah. I only knew that because I did a Udemy course the year before, just out of my personal development. I was like, oh, I should learn how to code. It's a little bit. And lo and behold, that little bit of information that I got last year went directly into FGC related stuff for tournaments. And I'm like, there you go. It's like, fuck. That's where you should just spend time by yourself. $10, man. I didn't have to go to uni. Because some people feel like if I don't have formal qualifications, I can't do it. End the story. Fuck no, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Like, I went and did engineering a bit. I was like, oh, I could get into robotics, Arduinos, and all this kind of shit by myself. So I was like, I just left. I was like, oh, fuck, man. It's like, because all the stuff that my classmates were talking about in engineering were like, oh, man, wish we could just do only the robotics. I wish we could just only do 3D printing. I wish we could just only do, like, circuit boarding, Arduino stuff. And no, we've got to do all this Revit stuff and, like, let's do a floor plan of a building and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, fuck this shit. Load-bearing walls, non-load-bearing. I don't care. I was like, I want to get right into it. Anybody can get into it right now. It's like, I think people have forgotten the days of the amateur scientists. Like, seriously, people have forgotten about that. Because now we're like these big masturbatory fucking, what do you call it? Systems of like, what's the word? Academia, right? Like the big clubs. You got to be a part of this. You got to be verified. You got to have to be accredited. You have to be this and that. I'm like, anything that we give a fuck about was by people who just did it on their spare time. Amateur scientists built everything that we enjoy. But it's just everybody, all these like medium IQ people that just know how to get papers and know how to give in assignments, end up running everything. And then now that's where we're all like fucking stuck. It's like, oh, come on. It's ridiculous, man. It's really just... Imagine going to a music university where like you're in a small fucking island in Greece and you're like, oh, I need to get out because of this like closed-minded place, blah, 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 to go out to the big world, to the real world, where people want to like, push the boundaries, discover new things, be the avant-garde of like what's to come, to try and create the next trends of the next decade, all this kind of shit. Like, who's the forward thinkers? Who wants to do what's not being done? Who wants to, try something different and see if it works or not? Don't do something different for the sake of it being different. Do something different to see if it works. You have to be brave to go out into the unknown, and either you succeed or you perish. Everyone's too afraid. It's like, oh, it's not worth the risk. I'm just going to be a cover band guy. Oh, it's too risky. I'm just going to like play like, garage music shit. Like, or, I'm just going to be like a 90s Seattle nasally sad boy band instead of just like something different. It's like everyone's like, oh, I'm gonna be like an 80s hair metal band. I'm like, fuck, man, I thought that already happened in the 80s. What are we doing now? It's like, fuck, it's like, it's a fistful of black pills being like, oh, it's our Wednesday afternoon performance, right? The poor bastard wanted to do a Kanye song and he got fucking he got reprimanded because he used a few gamer words. I'm like, it's a fucking Kanye song, first of all. And are you like, and this, it's expression. He's trying to deliver a message. He's trying to say something. I didn't listen to Kanye back then. I didn't give a fuck about Kanye back then. But that Imran, shout outs to Imran, this Pakistani kid that was going to my uni. He was a fucking Kanye nut back then, right? And he changed my opinion over time when I was completely fuck Kanye to be like, okay, I can see where this guy's going. And I find the guy interesting. I'm like, okay, cool. He's the kind of guy that is like testing things. He's always doing something different. He's just trying to, whatever. Networking, yeah. Because the thing is that out of the 35 people there, 20 fucking 9 of them weren't supposed to be there. And it should have been 7 people, including you, getting full attention in the class from day one, not at semester 4, trimester 4, whatever the fuck it is, trimester 6 at the end. You should have had like, a sixth of your teacher's attention for 3 years, not in the last 3 months. And all these 29 people should have just taken a gap year and gone to fucking get some bintangs in Southeast Asia and take a break and then find themselves and then come back and go to TAFE or some shit and become like a fucking, get their RCA, or what was it, RCG and their fucking, get their alcohol gambling fucking license and work at a bar. And then, leave the people that know what they want to do what they need to do. Yeah, fuck me. ranting and raving right now. Oof. It feels good though, I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to learn computer science, to study programming languages. Exactly. To learn real languages, to be a language master. Now I'm a global analyst and I can read invoices in 20 plus languages. Boom. That's it. Fucking A. Fucking A. Yeah, so Udemy is OP. Yeah, it's not bad. If you just find the right guys, you get good stuff. There's a real Greek philosopher. You're goddamn right. You're goddamn right. Petrostotle. Petrostelis. I can really dig into this stuff. Like, you know, people underestimate themselves, man. Like even like another thing that I would love to do, but unfortunately where I live it's just really hard, is amateur astronomy. That was something that I was really into back in Greece. I was like one of the, you know, people in the astronomy groups and all that kind of stuff, telescoping and measuring shit and all that kind of stuff. And you know, with today's stuff, you just bring out a laptop and a fucking Newtonian telescope and just start searching for fucking asteroids and shit like that. Woo! And comets and all these systems and stuff like that. Hell yeah, man. And there's blokes like in Australia out, you know, in the bush finding shit and then just name it, you know, they name it after them. I'm like, fucking A, man. And yeah, there's other stuff. Like if you know how to do a bit of basic Python, you can start searching for exoplanets on your computer, on a browser. You just run a few mathematical equations. There's a flow chart. There's a few, you know, equations that you can run, and then you just test the graphs to see, and then you can try and find an exoplanet. And I'm like, yes, please. Can we fucking do that? That sounds pretty fucking cool. Like, you know, there's so many things that, you know, average Joes can do that makes a difference that people aren't talking about, because I think there's a lot of ego going around. You know, it's like, oh, I did my 5 years in you know, for my fucking masters, and then I did the 2 years to get my PhD, blah, blah, blah. So now I'm going to keep everyone out that hasn't done the same amount of work as I have. I'm like, if I see talent out there, I'm like, fucking let's get going, son. Just jump on it. This is what you do. You do 1, 2, 3, repeat it until it doesn't break, and that's it. He's in. Fuck my prior knowledge. You're going to figure it out in 5 years anyways, just from doing it. Like, oh, people, man, I swear to God, man. That's why, like, even like the concept of making the sausage, right? My first Twitch streaming, you know, fucking endeavor, right? You're gonna get a dumb cunt, never play fucking Tekken properly. You're gonna give him a fighting stick, and we're just gonna figure it out. That's it. Like, I'm obviously not good. I'm obviously not fucking top tier or anything, but you know, I've had a good time along the way, and you know, eventually, boom, here we are. Fuck, anyone can do it. I can do it. Just do it. Like, that's all it is. Like, tell me about it. In short, what are unicorns when they're based on creative elements? Fuck the creative elements, man. These bastards in the boxes that are living, like, oh, Jesus Christ, man. Like, listen to this. On my graduating recital, you know, on my final semester, you have to do an hour and a half recital, right? Like, you have to organize a gig. You have to get your musicians. You have to get your set list. You got to do everything. Everything. Like, you're basically giving them a show, and you're getting graded on that, right? You're not allowed to play original music if you're not a composition student. If I'm a contemporary performance guy, I can't make my own songs, and I can't perform them. I have to play music that's already known. And if I was singing and let's say my degree was in the guitar, if I was to sing, if I was to spend a year to learn how to sing, learn how to play with the guitar singing, and sing my songs on stage, I would fail the test and I would not get my degree. This is the place for creative people. This is the place where fucking innovation is meant to be done, where the next frontier of musicians and artists and people that are going to be pushing the limits and finding out what the new world is going to be like. This is the place where you're going to go. Fuck off and die. That shit can fuck itself. Enjoy being a cover band bastard. Enjoy being another person in the fucking clique. And enjoy, just wanking each other. Like, I know this obscure shit. Or, like, you know, I play the 3 people because I'm just too far out there. Fuck yourself. I don't care. I don't fucking care, man. Really pisses me off. No out-of-the-box thinking. Truly smart people repulsed by universities. I found that time and time again. One of my favorite fucking teachers, a fucking genius, right? This guy had a lot of trouble with the fucking academia and the systems that were running there. They were stealing his work and calling it their own. Like, this guy, like, fucking some real dirty shit that was done to him. And the guy was too good for that fucking place. And, you know, he's just, smart people don't fit in. They're not people that fit in. Innovators and people that push the trends have real big issues with with institutions, because the institutions are there over time and people have to maintain it. And if you have to change things, you are threatening their position because they may have to leave because it's not fit for the new world. You know what I mean? Fuck, man. And those people do whatever it takes to throttle the fuck out of you and get you out of the way so they can keep going what they're doing. Fuck me. I'm getting really riled up. I should not be. This is, I guess I said, another talk for another time. Oh, boy. Yeah, finally someone thinks I'm smart because I diss uni. Yeah, it's a sign. It's a sign. Conformists, like medium IQ people that just are not like, they're above average intelligence, but they're not smart enough to be a genius. They're the worst people because they're not good enough to cut the mustard, but they know that they're better than other people. They're the fucking worst. The biggest egos, the biggest Dunning-Kruger, the biggest critics, the biggest fucking resentful people, spiteful people, jealous people. Like, man, when you see someone succeeding, you say congrats and like do more. There's no there's people that always feel competitive. It's like, oh, let's say for example, I'm streaming, right? I'm a bigger streamer. Oh man, big streamer, right? And someone else that's bigger than you sees you succeeding, and they're like, just try and talk it down or some shit, or like try and ignore it, or say, oh, it's not good, or whatever the fuck, or some bullshit excuse. Like, if I'm seeing someone up and coming, I'm like, let's fucking go. There's too many people for us to have, there's this poverty mentality I see in a lot of people. Even like competitive, let's say several years ago, I used to work in the dog walking industry, right? In Sydney, a lot of people have dogs and a lot of people are working and they can't walk their dogs, so they need someone to walk their dogs. And the amount of cutthroatness that was going on between different companies about clientele, it blew my mind. I'm like, bro, you don't understand. You don't have enough fucking use. Like, you don't have enough of yourself to take care of every fucking dog in Sydney. There's too many fucking dogs that are not being walked. You can literally, you can be maxed out. Someone calls you and you can't take them. Call a guy that also works that send them to them, because eventually you will lose a client and they will send you one over. There's enough dogs for every dog walker in fucking Sydney. But that was not the attitude. And it was just I was just saying, wasted opportunities left, right, and center to build good rapport, because you may not be the guy that picks up the client, but you're the guy that was good enough and humble enough to send it off to someone else that you trust, that you vetted for them. And in exchange, they're like, oh, I had a great reputation with this guy. Look, they didn't take my dog, but man, they helped me out. They gave me another great guy. It's like, but give them a check. And vice. Ego, man. It's too much ego. I didn't go to college. Am I smart? Yes. I would say you're ahead of your time. You're very smart. Fucking very smart. I'm unironically saying that. Fuck. I wish my current day self would just give me the rundown to my 18-year-old self. My 18-year-old self knew fucking nothing. I thought I knew so much. Just, man, I was fed bullshit, man. I was fed some serious life-destructive bullshit. And then I changed continent, and then, oh, fuck me. But, lessons learned, wisdom acquired. Imagine playing life in easy mode and just breezing along. And then, halfway through your life, you just get whacked with something bad and you don't even know how to deal with it. I've been fed shit for decades, man. I've built an immunity now. Man, are we shitting on creative uni? But imagine doing sports uni. Oh my God. That's why this is me. This is me when I'm at the gym. I've actually read actual books about not physiology, sports science, all this kind of stuff. Consumed thousands of hours of YouTube videos by competitive powerlifters, people doing the work, doing the actual difficult stuff. Also sports scientists, nutritionists, all this kind of shit. And then you go to the gym and you see the personal trainers and what they do. Fucking lobotomize me. Fucking lobotomize me. Just ice picks through the nose, the eyes, and the ears. Just fucking erase. Was that Eraserhead? Not Eraserhead. What's that fucking bastard with the needles on his head? Oh, what's that movie called? I forgot the horror movie. It's October and I can't remember what the fuck it's called. Jesus, man. Jesus Christ, the shit I see. And it's just, and they're the certified ones. I could have worked at any fucking gym, for the past 5 years, easy. But I don't have the qualifications. I can't waste several thousands of dollars and several months of my life to like not do what they say because what they're telling me is trash and fucked and dumb. But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I spent my money on studio upgrades and made money on the clients, which most people in my uni should have done. Yes, yes, that's right. Petra be my PT and help me put on some gains. That's right. That's it. It's so simple, man. Like go to Amazon and buy a copy. Buy a Kindle copy of Starting Strength by Mark Ripto. That's all. That's the starting point. That's all you need to do. And then go to YouTube and go to Alan Thrall's channel, aka Untamed Strength, and watch his videos. And that's, never have to worry about anything else ever again. Simple as. Everyone else, every personal trainer, every fucking YouTuber, everyone else is gonna like put you in this fucking cycle to keep buying their shit, to keep buying their services, to keep change it up, mix it up, because they need your clientele instead of just being ethical and saying, you see these 5 things? I'm going to train you through them. I'm going to make sure that you do them correctly. And I'm going to teach you how to scale it, how to do it safely, how to program for yourself. And once I've seen that you've got full grasp of everything, then I'm going to have to let you go because you have all you need for the rest of your life. That's a real trainer. That's what you should do. That's when the ego is out the fucking door because you're not afraid to lose the client and you can just move on. And I can tell you, if you can train someone, work them up and teach them how to fish instead of giving them fish, they're going to let everybody else know and they're going to come to you. And then you're going to always have a new surplus of clients that are always new. And it's going to be a new challenge. You're going to get, you're going to become a better trainer through training new people all the time instead of just drilling people and mixing it up and changing it. Oh, you got to hit it differently this time, blah, blah. You got to confuse the body. Fuck yourself, man. It's simple. But, Ramoto, man. Ramoto.